Decision-making in the context of social change. Majority rule and plurality voting. Following can be stated about these procedures. They are simple and can be implemented quickly. But on the downside, they can lead to the election of a candidate who is disliked by a large part of the electorate. With majority rule, you need anything over 50% wins. If you have 50.1% of the vote, that means you have like 49.9% of the vote that is against you. So you have a large population that isn't happy with you. It's not ideal. And with plurality voting, it can be even worse. If you have three parties, you just happen to have more than the other. If you have like 34% of the vote and they all have some other smaller fraction, then you win. So, you could be disliked by 66% of the population. The board account, Condorcet method, elimination method, and approval voting. The following can be stated about these procedures. They allow for a more nuanced interpretation of voting results. You're really getting at who should be elected. They allow for the selection of a candidate who will generally lead to a high degree of satisfaction among the electorate. But their downside, they're complicated to implement. Majority election. The following can be stated about majority elections. It is simple and it doesn't cost very much to set up. It generally leads to a high degree of governmental accountability. So the government, knowing that they have to get at least 50% of the vote, they're going to do a good job to represent the people so that they can get that 50% in the next election. It can generate many useless votes. So as we were saying before, if you have 50% of the vote plus one vote, you win. So you have 50.0001%, you win. That means you have like 49.999% are against you, right? Or feel that their votes were just thrown away. It can generate a result that leaves many voters dissatisfied. It leads to a situation in which a party can win a majority of seats without receiving a majority of the votes, and vice versa. Proportional representation. The following can be stated about proportional representation. It ensures that each vote counts. It generates a distribution of power that fairly accurately reflects the will of the electorate. It often leads to a situation in which no party has a majority government. The need for coalition among parties can then slow the decision-making process. That's the downside to it. Here's an example. In a region comprising 10 districts of equal population, 10 seats must be attributed, one for each district. The following are the results. Party A gets 33, Party B gets 32%, and Party C gets 35% in District 1, so Party C wins in District 1. In District 2, Party C wins as well. In District 3, Party C again. In District 4, Party B. In District 5, Party A. In District 6, Party C wins. In District 7, C wins again. In District 8, we have C winning again. In District 9, A wins. In District 10, B wins. And that's it. All together, A wins 2 seats, B wins 2 seats, and C wins 6 seats, which seems fine until you look at, if you added all of this up, divided by 10, you'd get 38%. 38% of the vote is going to A, 33.6% goes to B, and 28.4% goes to C. So C has a majority of the seats, but a minority of the popular vote. If in each district the seat is attributed based on plurality voting, then Party A wins 2 seats, Party B wins 2 seats, and Party C wins 6 seats. Party C leads the government and has the majority despite having received the fewest votes. If we're doing it by proportional government, let's look at 38%, which is times 10, which gives us 3.8. Remember, 38% is 0.38, so 0.38 times 10 is 3.8. 33.6% translates to 3.36 seats, and 28.4% translates to 2.84 seats. Remember, we round down, so this becomes 3 seats, and 2 seats, and then we just keep note of the fractional part, the remainder, 0.8, 0.36, and 0.84. Now 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 2 is 8. That's 8 seats, but we need 10 seats. Right? So we need to give 2 more seats away. We give them away by looking at the remainder. 0.84 is the biggest remainder. It gets an extra seat. 0.8 is the second biggest, so it gets an extra seat. So 3 plus 1 is 4 seats. Party B does not get an extra seat, so it has 3 seats. And Party C has 3 seats. If we do proportional government, a proportional election, we end up with a better representation. B, who had won the popular vote, has the most seats. Here's another example. The following are the results of an election. Candidate A has 28 votes, candidate B has 23, and candidate C has 12. Based on plurality voting, candidate A is elected, even though a majority of voters did not vote for this candidate. 28 votes, the majority, B plus C together, is 35 votes. We have 28 satisfied voters and 35 dissatisfied voters. The voters are asked to rank the candidates in order of preference. The following are the results. The same A, B, and C. We have 28 picked A first, then B, then C. 23 picked B first, then C, then A. 7 picked C first, then B, then A. And 5 picked C, then A, then B. For A, use the Borda count. 28 times 3 plus 23 times 1 plus 7 times 1 plus 5 times 2. If it's the first choice, it gets 3 points. If it's second choice, 2 points. If it's third choice, only 1 point. Add those up. That gives 124 points to A. B, we have 28 times 2 plus 23 times 3 plus 7 times 2 plus 5 times 1, which is 144 points. For C, we have 28 times 1 plus 23 times 2 plus 7 times 3 plus 5 times 3, and that gives us 110. B wins. Based on the Borda count, candidate B is elected, which leads to 23 very satisfied voters, and then 28 plus 7, okay, somewhat satisfied voters, and only 5 dissatisfied voters. This is a much better way of doing it. And that's it for decision making in the context of social choices. Have a good day.